everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I've got someone, you know how we do it. We bring somebody in who will share their experience firsthand from the horse's mouth. And I'm also going to be hearing this for the first time. I got to know him from Facebook live video where he was sharing how he came to the UK and he's always used his NARI certificate for all his process, even up to his indefinite leave to remain. And I'm like, you have to come and tell us how you've been doing it. So he's going to be sharing his experience with us. So please stay tuned. Remember to subscribe, follow this page wherever you're watching from. And I will leave you to introduce yourself, please. Can we get to know your name and anything else?
My name is Chris. I'm Chris Idoko. So that's my name. I'm a radiographer. So I practice here in UK. I graduated from UNN, that's University of Nigeria, Suka. Enugu campus is for College of Medicine. Yeah, I study radiography and I've been practicing radiography over the years.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do you mind telling us how long you've been in the UK, please?
Yeah, so this is my sixth year now.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
it's been a long time.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while now. Well, not compared to some people.
I know. Did you come? How did you come? Did you come to study? Did you come to work? Did you get your visa from Nigeria? Or how did you even do all your process and you're here in the UK?
Oh, okay. I actually got a job while I was in Nigeria. So, yeah. So I got a job in Nigeria. I went through the processes, maybe which I would explain later. Then in the end, I got the job, processed the visa, then came into the UK 2017, started practicing. So yeah, maybe we'll go into details of the process.
Yes,
because of the interview.
I'm actually impressed because 6 years ago, there are no informations. So I'm actually impressed that 6 years ago, you're able to get a job all the way from Nigeria because, all this Japa, UK thing has not started then. So I'm sure you must have done your homework and for you to be able to get a job, and I'm sure you've done all your homework. Okay, so you came on a work visa.
Yes.
Okay, before we forget, can I, as quick as possible, I know it's a long process. Is it possible, if you remember, what is the process to become a registered or a licensed radiographer in the UK, all the way from any country in the world? If you didn't study here or if you're not here yet, please.
Okay. Yeah, just like every other country, you have the regulatory bodies. So even in Nigeria, whether you are a radiographer, a nurse, you have the council that regulates your practice. So that issue the license. So in the UK, it's the same thing. We have HCPC, Health and Care Professions Council. So they issue licenses for radiographers, so biomedical scientists, or what we call lab scientists, and many other allied health professionals like that. So for you to practice in UK, the first thing first is that you need to get the license. And for you to get the license, there are processes to follow. First of all, you go to the website, you download the form, you read through all the guidelines, and those forms, there you get your details filled in, everything about some of the practice, the clinical experience you've had so far, and all that. It's not a big deal. If you follow the steps, you could see the guides yourself. So that's the first thing, to download the form. While you're filling the form, then you need to go back to your school and let them know that you intend to register or apply for HCPC license. So where you studied in your university, they will need to provide a document. So that document is going to confirm that you actually studied radiography in school.
Okay.
The document will contain everything you studied from year 1 to your final year, including your clinical placements, because some of the clinical placements serve as your courses. Okay, so it's not just like transcripts, where the transcripts will just mention the courses you studied and the units. This one will bring the details of each courses. For instance, if you say Chem 101, they will explain all the subjects treated under Chem 101.
Okay.
So they need the detail. of all the courses you studied from year one to final year. So the result will confirm that you actually studied. Also, the head of department at the end of the day will have to attach a letter to whom it may concern, confirming that, oh, this person actually studied radiography for so number of years, graduated successfully, studied in English. Please provide him or her with all the help he or she needs. So it goes that way. So while that's going on, because sometimes it doesn't come out that quick, you're dealing with your forms. So when you're done with your forms, then you keep in touch with the school. When they are done with that, they need to send that document to wherever you are in Nigeria. Then you combine everything that way and send it to HCPC. So you follow it up, keep calling them. If you don't hear from HCPC after like a week or two, give them a call. When they confirm receipt of your document, then that's what they call scrutiny fee. So they're going to go through all the documents you submitted, page by page, and that costs about £400 something pounds, something like that. I can't remember the exact amount now because I did that like 6 years ago. But they will go through that process. They will make sure that nothing is missing. So even if one thing is missing, they're going to let you know that they cannot accept incomplete form. When they are done with that and they are okay with that, so they will let you know that they've confirmed all that. That's one step. The next step is that they need letters of good standing. So your licensing board in Nigeria, in my own case, RRBN, Radiographers Registration Board of Nigeria. In my own case, you need to confirm that you've been practicing very well in Nigeria, you don't have any problem, no issues. They also need another good letter of good standing from your department as well, apart from what they did before. So those two letters of good standing will be sent to HCPC direct. When they confirm receipt of that, they will now reply that okay, we cannot confirm we cannot confirm that you are now good to pay for your registration, because the license actually is every 2 years. It doesn't matter whether you are still in Nigeria or in UK. The only time you might pay 1 year is maybe if you're paying close to the end of the UK calendar year then. But if not, it's normally 2 years, which is like £180, I think. Yeah.
So you pay, is it Nigeria you're paying to or the UK?
While you're in Nigeria, I can actually make the payment. The only thing is
this license is the UK one.
Is the UK one, yeah.
Every 2 years.
Yeah. But by the time you've confirmed your document, you have to now pay for the license. It's always renewable every 2 years.
Okay.
If you can make the payment direct from your own debit, or maybe someone in UK can help you make the exchange. Anyway, so once you've done that, they confirm your payment, they will now send you your registration number. So your registration number is what you will use to practice all your years in UK. The only thing that you renew that every 2 years. Yeah. So that's the step for registration with HCPC.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you don't have to write any special exam, because we nurses will take like 2 exams. We take theory in your country and you come and do the practical in the UK.
Yes. Yeah, I know about nurses they write exams. So well, I should say, fortunately for us, we don't write exams. Yeah. So radiographers, we don't write exams. So I think our own exam is those long processes they need to go to confirm that you actually studied and all that, had the relevant clinical experience and all that.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't write it. The only exam you might have to write is maybe when your visa must have been out, or ahead of your visa, you're going for English test. For those that want to use English test, but I've not gotten there yet. Anyway,
yes, we'll get there.
But in terms of the license, whatever, no, you're not writing any exam. For now, I don't know when I change tomorrow, but no.
Oh, good. Okay, since you've told us the process, can you please tell us the requirements for you? You know how maybe your certificates, English exam, like what are the listed requirements that you need for you to get that license before you get the license?
First of all, you need to confirm that you actually went to the university.
Okay.
Or diploma as well, because most of these courses actually started as I don't know, even nursing, that School of Nursing have actually been there for years before we now have BSc nursing, isn't it?
Yes.
So the same thing with radiography. Radiography was actually a diploma program before. Okay. And not just in Nigeria, I think even in most other countries, because I don't think it's by coincidence that if you watch most of the vacancies for radiographers, they will say under person specifications, qualifications, they say BSc or diploma, something like that. So yeah, they still keep using that BSc or diploma. So well, but for years now it's already BSc. We no longer have diploma program for that in Nigeria. I presume. I don't know what's going on at the moment. Yeah. So your degree, your certificate, basically, for that, for you to get the license, then every other thing will follow.
Oh, that's interesting. So after you've got your license, where do we then go to look for job, or how then do we then go? Because I'm sure, or I'm thinking it will also be point based. It also be tier 2 visa, isn't it?
Yes, tier 2. Yeah, it's tier 2. So when you've gotten your license, then you now have your registration number. So then you can now go to NHS website and start looking for radiography jobs. Now, radiography jobs you're going to look for now depends on which area you're going to. Are you going into general X-ray, or are you going for CT MRI? Are you going for ultrasound? Are you going for nuclear medicine, radiotherapy, mammography? There are so many areas in radiography. However, whichever one you're going for, if you go to NHS website, you will definitely see all the vacancies there. Then you start applying. Your first application might be a bit tedious because that's your first application. So you're going to create your profile, make your profile rich and all that. So it's a long process. But yes, NHS website, that's where you start.
And once you have one form, you can then just keep using it to apply.
Of course, most of the times, once you've done your first application and you save the application, you can actually use that for your next application. That doesn't mean that you're going to put all the information, because every vacancy might have their requirements.
Okay.
But that will stay here. But you repeat everything like your qualification again is already there. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, that's interesting. So once you got to your job, and then what are the requirements for visa?
Okay.
And before I go forward, because this part is important, I asked you when we were on live, I said, did you pay any agent? Because me, I'm anti-agent. Now I say, did you pay any agent to do your visa? Did you bribe anybody? Did you buy certificate of sponsorship? Did you have to pay somebody? Please.
Okay. Well, the thing about, let me just need some clarification about the payment thing. Personally, then, first of all, when it comes to getting job direct from Nigeria to UK, then it wasn't even popular. I think we have second or third sets that started coming here through direct job. So then it wasn't even popular. So the only thing is, most of our guys, few of our guys have left, then they're always busy. Just wait until maybe someone is free to guide you through some things and all that. Yeah. So, however, it doesn't mean that people that pay for certain services are all fraud or are not genuine. No, it depends. Some people can decide to guide you through such a long process for free, which depending on your relationship with them.
Okay.
Then some people might have to say, okay, for me to go through this with you have to pay. I mean, even in UK, I think they have immigration advice, immigration lawyers and other people that you pay them and they take you through all the visa processes. So genuinely people do that. Doesn't mean that people don't still arrive at the same result. You can still get that for free depending on relationship with people. So then it wasn't even popular. People don't even know what's going on. So you have to figure out so many things yourself.
Research yourself.
Yeah. So then I didn't actually pay, but it doesn't mean that most people that pay for certain services are all not genuine. You know what I mean? So
at the end of the day, they can still do it themselves, can't they? If they want to sit down and do the research, can't you?
Yeah. If people can, of course. Everything is all about. One thing about migration is it involves a lot of commitment.
Yes.
It involves a lot of sacrifice. You decided to do this, so it means you have to sacrifice a lot of things within that period of 1 year, let me say, to sacrifice your pleasure and some other things. You need to reprogram your life, basically, both your work and your life. Yeah, and it's not a big deal as long as you're committed to it. There are a lot of things expected of you, the standard and all that. So yeah, but it's something you can actually do yourself. You don't necessarily need anybody, but you still need people. You need information anyway.
Information, yeah. Like this video. If you watch this video, I think you should be able to get started. Pay your feet to start. Okay, so please, what are the requirements, like the English exam, the passport, and all those things for your visa?
Okay. Yeah. So for the English exam, I think we talked about this the last time. So we have, like, most popular, the Ielts. Okay. So international English language testing
System.
whatever. Yes. Then we have the UK NARIC. So for the English test, some people do it, some people go that way. I didn't do English test. So you pay and you go for the exam, certain scores and all that. So yeah, but the one I did is I went for UK NARIC because my friend, then my classmate, then told me that yeah, they did UK NARIC. So information about IELTS, people know that a lot. So I don't need to go into that. But for UK NARIC, UK NARIC is like a body in UK here. Their job is to confirm that an immigrant coming to the UK for a work through a work visa actually meets the English requirements. So the same thing that the IELTS will confirm that you actually know how to speak, write, listen, and all that in English language. The same thing they need to confirm. The idea is that if someone went to university and you studied in English, you were taught in English, and for the 5 years or 4 years, depending on the years in your country, you were taught in English, all your courses is studied in English, then that means, on the average, you should be able to speak. You should be able to hear English, you should be able to write and all that. So, but they need evidence of this. They don't know when it comes to job and every other thing processing. Your document speaks for you, isn't it? So they need to confirm that all through your years in university, from year 1 to your final year, you were actually taught in English language. They need to confirm even that, like some of us even did some courses, like we call GS, that were actually even English language courses in the university. Yeah. So your transcripts from the school will confirm all this. One. Then the other one is also a document from the registrar. So registrar who is issuing the transcript will also give you a proof of English.
Okay.
That all these courses in your transcript were actually taught in English language.
Okay.
So those will come with stamp from the registrar and signature. It doesn't matter where. Right now, they can even forward it to your email. Like, just tell them you want to get it by email. They just forward them to your email.
Okay.
Once you've gotten that, then you can they have a fee. So, but you need to have those documents first. Then you go to your website for their pay. I don't know how much it is now, but once you made your payment there, then they will advise you to now send your documents. I think either you send your documents before you pay or you pay, something like that. Okay. Forward it to their office here in UK. You can actually do that. During my own time, I used DHL, so which was speed. I think I can't remember if I forwarded it to DHL or I forwarded to email. But when they are sending the UK NARIC to you, they will need the address and they would ask you if you need a faster delivery through DHL. There's an additional payment for it, which I did. So they will forward the certificate of English proficiency direct to your address in Nigeria or wherever you're applying from. Now, there is a huge advantage of this over IELTS, so which is what we talked last time. And yeah, it's really good if you have this information. IELTS expires every 2 years. Okay, it doesn't matter if you've gotten the job. In fact, you can even be in Nigeria applying for job. 2 years have passed and it just expired. You have to write another one.
True.
UK NARIC I got since 2017 is what I've been using till today. Okay, so it doesn't expire every 2 years like IELTS. So you use it for your visa. You arrive in UK. Then for some reasons you're changing job, because in NHS, if you're changing job and you haven't spent 5 years in UK, you haven't gotten your indefinite leave, you still have to apply for another. The employer have to sponsor your visa again.
Yes.
When you apply for that visa, you still use the same UK NARIC. Now, another good thing is that even when you spend 5 years doing your indefinite leave application, the UK NARIC will still serve as your proof of English. Okay, because we have that and you've been working here for 5 years. So those are advantages, which is very okay. But one thing I understand, I think for nurses, I think they don't. But for radiographers and some other professionals, yes. But I think for nurses, they might prefer your IELTS. Yes.
Yeah, even nursing council, we want your IELTS band 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. So you got your NARIC, your passport, your job offer, your offer
Yeah.
letter, your certificate of
Yes.
sponsorship.
Yes. Yes.
So it's just the same like nursing.
Yeah. So
Tuberculosis tests.
oh yeah. I think for nurses, there are another difference. I think there's a lot of difference for nurses because you guys will have to come in here now, wait for your OSCE before you can get your PIN, which actually serves as your license, isn't it?
Yes.
But we don't need to come in here practice. The only time you can come in here, and maybe if you've not gotten your license and for some reason you're here, maybe you can. What they do in UK, if you're a fresh graduate, you haven't gotten your license here, you can actually be practicing, but you're placed at band 4 until you get your license, start being earning as band 5. Yeah, but I don't know if you can actually get that straight from Nigeria if you haven't gotten your HCPC outside the country.
How will you come into the country? How will you get a job? How will you get?
I don't think they might even expect to give you a job without HCPC if you're coming from outside the country.
Yeah.
Anything can change. It's possible in future once you're a graduate and they've confirmed everything, they can actually employ you as band 4. Yeah, but yes, at the moment, I think nurses do have that privilege for now.
Wow.
Yeah, so other documents, like you said, the passport, of course, the moment you start, thinking about processing this stuff, the first thing you need to do is to go and do your passport. So you have your passport. Then certificate of sponsorship would always come once you've gotten the job. Once you pass the interview, the next thing is the post-interview documents they need you to comply with. And once you comply with them, they'll now tell you now, okay, you'll be applying for your possible starting date, and they'll now apply for your certificate of sponsorship. So when it's out, they will send it to you in your email. So just keep your emails keep functioning 24/7.
True.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So please, if you're comfortable or if you don't mind, can you give us the range of the salary radiographers and with the NHS? Maybe hourly or yearly, just the range, if that's okay.
Okay, I think everyone should be very conversant with, or basically the yearly, your normal yearly income, what you should be earning annually, basic salary. I think those coming now, I think they are having a bit more payment than we. Like in our own time, it used to be like 22, 21, 23 per annum. But now I think you guys are like band 5, I would say,
if it's enough,
28 starting now. So then, for you to get to 28 per annum, that would take us like 3-4 years or even 5. But now it has gone to 20 because all this thing, because government had to affect the salary range and all that. So for the radiographers, yes, like you said, band 5, whether you're a radiographer or nurses, if you're starting in 28, is it what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, so that should be the same with radiographers.
Okay, for everybody that
so band 5, yeah. Okay. Because even when we increased salary last year, remember, that was for everyone.
Okay.
So band 5 most times, apart from the high cost area like London, generally the starting point for band 5 will be that 28 or 27 or 25, depending.
Yeah.
So that's
somebody come on, ask per hour.
Yeah, 25 per year. No, of course not. No, someone can be thinking about that per month.
Somebody has asked me before, Gloria, is it per hour or per day? How will somebody pay
no.
per day? Are you a robber?
No. That's per year, and that's for band 5, starting as a general radiographer. If you are coming in for CT MRI, band 5, if you don't have experience, that will still be the same starting salary. If you have experience, CT MRI most of the times is actually band 6 position. So your starting will be from 32,000 per annum, 32 or 33, depending on year. I think in that range per annum for band 6. And sometimes it depends. If you have experience already in UK and you're changing job to still another band 6, your starting might not be the same because you're not new to NHS, so they might start you depending on your negotiation. But understand that if you're just coming from Nigeria and if you have experience already and you're applying as band 6, whether CT, MRI, or general X-ray, which some most times is not easy, is Darwin 36, 32 per annum, £1,000 per annum in Darwin starting. So there are various fields of radiography: X-ray, CT, MRI, ultrasound. Ultrasound, you need to have, they expect you to have a post PGD qualification, so postgraduate diploma program. Most have done it after your degree. So for some time now, people are actually coming to UK, getting direct job for ultrasound from Nigeria, which is band 7. Not every hospital. Yes, not every hospital. Some hospitals want you to start as band 6. They want to see your experience, pass through competency period, and now you become band 7. Some, if they're okay with your interview, they can start with you at band 7. So if you're in UK, you've not had that program before coming to UK, you can actually go for a training position, which is a band 6 position. When you're done with the studies, which is a year or two, depending on you're doing a PGCERT or PGD, then you become band 7. So there are so many areas. For female radiographers, they have actually a lot of advantage in UK because we have a field called mammography. So mammography somehow is exclusively left for female radiographers. They do it, breast examinations and all that. Okay, so we have other areas: nuclear medicine, radiotherapy. There are actually so many areas anyway.
Wow, that's very educational. Like, I've learned a lot from this. Generally, transitioning from Nigeria to the UK, I know it is different. The equipment are mind-blowing. Everything is, in Nigeria, they just teach you, you just imagine it. But when you come here, you're actually seeing those equipment. How has it been for you working in the NHS, transitioning from Nigeria? How is work generally and life generally? Just briefly, how is it for you? How did you manage to fit in?
Okay. All right. I think this information is very important for people that are intending to come over. And maybe sometimes we might be worried, okay, my standard of practice, would that be the same? It will be the same, but the main thing is that you'll be practicing as a radiographer, whether you're doing X-ray or ultrasound or CT or MRI. If you have those basic knowledge, those basic practice, those basic experience, I would say, when you come over, generally, I don't know if it's applicable to other fields, nurses or doctors, but generally in radiology, for radiographers, we have what we call induction program.
Yes, true.
Induction program. So this program, which most times is like about 2 to 3 months, depending on the hospital, depending on the department, is very, very important. So basically, it's meant to put you through what's going on, the practice, the departmental protocol for that period of time. So it's like you're not a student, but it's like you're being taught, like, okay, how to use this equipment, how to do this, how to do that. So you'll be doing that. Maybe in about 1 or 2 days, you start doing some things. Someone is watching. You have a mentor. Someone has mentoring. So at the beginning, you go through an induction period, and in about 2 to 3 months, once they are happy that you can now do these things independently with little or no supervision, then you'll be signed off, and you start doing a lot of things yourself. Okay, so that fear shouldn't be there as long as you're committed. If you satisfied with other thing through interview, gotten here, the induction period will actually help you to get used to, adapted to the way things work.
Thank you so much. Is there anything that you think we've not covered? Because this video is getting long. I know when it's too long, people will not watch. So I'm looking at the time. Is there anything you think you've not covered that you want to share that I've not asked you?
I think regarding this, I think we've actually quite covered a lot of things regarding the visa processing, the licensing, starting work, what you expect to go through, and all that. Well, another thing I need to tell people at home is that they're actually, just like in the summary regarding radiography opportunities here, there's a lot of things radiographers do here. I know back home in Nigeria, we know the politics in the health sector. With the doctors, basically doctors don't want you to know much. They want to be the one knowing everything. In UK is not there. So when you come here, you start realizing that you have so many things, including reporting radiographers. So you see that a radiographer can actually report extremities. A radiographer can actually report CT heads, brains. Okay, yeah,
autonomy.
and some of those positions are and those are actually seen. So someone who is very good at who is very good in anatomy, pathology, and all that in school. Just know that if you come over to UK and you're actually interested in reporting, there's actually a position for that. Even if you cannot go for the training yourself to pay, if you indicate interest, the hospital can actually train you and you become a reporting radiography. So there's a lot of opportunities there when it comes to advancing your practice. And the needless politics over there back home is not here. Here there is rule of law, so everyone is being guided by the use of the practice. Yeah. So
thank you so much. Like I've learned a lot. Is that your final advice?
Yeah, I think that would be it. For now, and people would always try to ask questions. Yeah, another thing I would like to add is I think I've had the opportunity to have a chat with one or two pretenders regarding like applications, and maybe sometimes this basically goes to those if you've tried many times applying for job and you're not being shortlisted, just take a break, seek for opinions, talk to one or two persons, especially those practicing here. It might be that the way you organize your applications, your support information, maybe most times things don't tally. Maybe they are too worded, like one has told me. So they need the basic information, the summary about you, your practice regarding the job. They don't expect you to know everything. Even most best hospitals here, they don't do everything. So you don't need to let them know that you do everything in radiography, which they know is not possible.
It's not possible.
Okay, so the few things you do, let them know. Then regarding the job you are coming for, the little you've done about that particular position, let them know, and how you're trainable and how you'll be quick to learn. So yeah, and go through the applications, know the requirements, the essentials, the desirable. Make sure that some of those things there, even though you might have the skill, but you couldn't remember to put them down, you will be able to be shortlisted. So it's just like a good advice to some of them who do apply most times and you're not getting shortlisted. Yeah.
Finally, now that you've talked about guiding people, this will go on YouTube and it will go on Facebook, and they will come to your inbox. Is that okay for them to come? Because they will come in thousands. I know this is your name on Facebook.
Yeah, that's
is it okay for them to start messaging you for inquiry if they have questions? Because I may not be able to answer as well as you will be. So is it okay if some people who are interested in radiography message you to guide them?
Yeah. Anyone is free to reach me, maybe inbox me, or So, but it depends on the service you need. If the service you need is going to be deep and prolonged, then that might have to come some payment. But if you just a quick inquiry, I'm always happy. So definitely yes.
Thank you so much for your time. This has been so educative. Like, this is the part of health that I don't know anything about, and I'm so glad you've come to clarify this. I really, really appreciate your coming, and I hope to still keep in touch with you. I will now say this is the end of the question and answer, because it seems like an interview.
Thank you so much. Anyway, thanks for having me. Anyway, thanks for having me, and thanks for the good job you're doing. I think it's very informative on your page, and you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you so much. Please, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please press the subscribe button. If not, you're going to lose. And then on my Facebook page, remember to follow, because we do things like this. Thank you so much. I love you to the moon and back, and I will say bye.
Bye.